Okay, hello everyone. So today we're doing another guide to trading in Webkinz, and we are focusing on collection events today. So we're kind of getting to the point where we're moving into categories that are not 100% like uniform, like they kind of extend into other categories, which is totally fine, but it's going to make it a little less organized, a little more complicated. So what I would so I'm gonna just kind of move through these and talk through things, but it might get confusing, but I honestly think like working through like the whole page of this is most helpful. So we are on the collection events page on Webkinz Guide, which again is one of my favorite wiki sources for documenting the different items on Webkinz, and I think it's a really great source for people who are trading and want to. So collection events are the events, they usually happen a couple times a year. There's like a fall one, a Christmas one, a spring one, a Valentine's Day one, a summer one, a Thanksgiving one, a Valentine's one. I think I said that already, but they kind of rotate. So like if there is a Thanksgiving one, there probably won't be a Christmas one, or things like that. Like they're not going to have them back to back to back. They like to rotate out. So there's not necessarily like consistently going to be the same ones every year, but the way it works is you have a sorry, a little logo on the side of your Webkinz map, and you can ask friends to send like the item that you're collecting, and with a certain amount of the items that you receive, you earn a prize, and there's usually a grand prize, and it's usually like 50. So you can get multiple of them, and they're tradable and sendable, so they're definitely something that is like very accessible for people, but the older that they are, and the like higher value they are, like the amount it takes to get them is going to determine how valuable they are. So we're going to start with the acorn one. So this is a fall one that happens every year for the most part, I think. And they have kind of varied throughout the years. They're always going to have different themes. Sometimes they're like extensions of other like seasonal items that are out that year. Sometimes they're like new. Sometimes they're like, the oak things continued multiple years. But we'll kind of go through them. As with all of these, the older ones are more valuable, with a little caveat that a lot of these items have been made accessible in other ways. So a lot of these items are available in Spree, in the Wishing Well, and sometimes on Wheels, Click to Wins, and things like that. So you do need to be like pretty conscious of if these items have been available in another capacity, because that's going to make it less rare. So for example, the 2013 Blue Fall Season window is actually currently in the Wish Factory, so anyone can get it if you have like, I think it's like 50 tokens or something, which is a lot of tokens, but it's like currently accessible. And the best way to check this is to go to the item guide of this and to kind of scroll through and see the when it's last available. So you'll see both the green oak leaf chair, you go to one, it's in the Wish Factory. And then we'll go back up, the Blue Fall Season window, also in the Wish Factory. This is not like 100% updated, mostly because it like this stuff just changes a lot, but it's probably the best resource, especially if you're not playing enough to really know. So we'll kind of go through these and discuss. So 2013, we have these two, very available. 2014, we have these oak items, which I don't believe the fireplace says it was last available, but I've definitely seen that. I think that's a more recent like addition to Spree or something. 2015, we have a continuation of the oak, which is really nice. Things that kind of seem familiar are these two right there. 2016, we have this fall fair. This has been available a lot. This has been available a lot. This has two. This one less so, but I still think I see it a lot. 2017, we have these fall leaves, which are really awesome. I don't see these two items at the end a lot. I think they're They haven't reappeared a lot. These have, especially the fall fun tree is currently a recipe item, so you can make it. I think all of this has been available other than the wooden bench. This plushie I don't see, but this has been available. This is in the either Spree or Wish Factory, and I actually don't see this one a lot. These I think have all been available other than maybe the large bookshelf, which is cool. The antiques have all sort of been available other than maybe this shop window. This spa stuff is currently in the Spree shop, but not all of it, so double check on that. 2023 is more recent, so I don't think a lot of them are available, but because as you get more recent, there's going to be a lot more of them in the sort of trading pool because it just happened so recently, and there's been like players who are currently on have done that. So this is pretty popular, I see it a lot. This one I see a ton, and this one just happened, so I see that a lot. So that is the Acorn collection, which is kind of the fall version. Then we have the candy cane one. I would say the like grand prizes for these, I'm looking in some of the, like, it is really tricky to know, but I haven't seen this like available again, and maybe this. A lot of these have become recipe items because there are the specific Christmas recipe items, but another thing is like if it's a food item, like that is not going to be super like valuable. The grand prizes are going to tend to be the most valuable, so this fireplace I don't see a ton. I actually have a ton of these right now. I don't know why there's so many. It was probably available in a super wheel. I don't think that some of the gingerbread items are in. Okay, so that's a good. Okay, it's at the Wish Factory. So that's the thing. It's hard. It's really hard to tell, as you can see as I'm like scoping through this. The flashy items have remained pretty rare. I don't think they've turned up a lot. Let's check. Yeah, so most of them, other than the tree, which is funny because that's the grand prize, have kind of stayed not super accessible other than through the original challenge. So I do see these as like more valuable. I think the milk and cookies were available. One of these was a recipe item at one point, but I think these two have kind of stayed out of the prize pool in other ways. The mod ones have kind of held up, other than this, which is a recipe item, and I think this one was available somewhere. The sliding door I don't think has been available. These I see a lot. I think this was in the prize pool again. I'm assuming they were in something. I don't see the slide as much as I see these. And then we have 2022, the cozy one. I think this has been in the super wheel. This has like not been in the prize pool a ton, but I think these have. And then you'll notice this one ends in 2022, and that's because they kind of started swapping out like if there was going to be this like Christmas collection challenge versus a Thanksgiving one. And I think they switched to mostly doing Thanksgiving, but just because they didn't need all of those. Then we have the flower collection, which is usually in the summer. So we have this one in 2012, which is the oldest, but as you can see, current at the Wish Factory. So that's going to make it not super valuable. The flowery greenhouse, I think, okay, that's a pretty rare one. It hasn't been done again, and it's just one item, which is really interesting. These I've seen a lot other than the Spring Blooms fountain. These have all come back lately. This is in the Wish Factory. Maybe not, but I see these like more than you would expect, which is funny. Same with these. I think these come into the prize pool a lot, other than maybe like the climbing wall and the long slide, but yeah, these later two, maybe this, are kind of rare, but I see these two a lot. This one is in Spree, I'm pretty sure. These I see a ton, and I think this one is in the Wish Factory. This I think I see all of these a lot, so have been in the prize pool a lot. The kitchen one is probably one of the rarer ones. A lot of people really want the Sunny Kitchen Island. Then we have this like sleepover theme, and this is in, I think, the Wish Factory. I see the rest of these pretty much other than like the floor tile. Potting bench, this sort of like garden one, I don't see this wallpaper a lot, but this for sure has been in the prize pool a lot. This is recent enough. I don't see it in the prize pool, but I think it's like recent enough people have it. Same with 2024, 2025, and 2026 is what's going on right now. We have the Heart Collection, which I think only happened once, as you can see. I think it was probably for year 10, and I think these two are definitely in the Wish Factory and also were on the Wheel of Wishes at one point, and then this is pretty accessible. This I see in the trade room a lot, but not sure. Then we have Marshmallow Collection, which is another summer opportunity. It's kind of the Campkins challenge, so some of these are rare, but this and this are in the Wish Factory, and this tree I don't see a lot, and I do really like it, so always on the hunt for that one. This has recently been in a prize pool. This is in Spree. Then we have a bunch of Rocky stuff. I think this is a recipe item at this point. This is in the Wish Factory. I think this is in the Wish Factory, and I see a lot of these. I don't see the Frog Prince dresser ever, but I don't really like it. This has been on a wheel a ton. I think this is in Spree. This might be in Spree. This is like, I just see it a ton. Hot dog stuff. I think some of these came back in like the actual hot dog event, which happens in the summer sometimes. So I see these in the trade room, but I don't find them super relevant. The bright bedroom stuff I see a lot, but not the bright bedroom bunk. That's one of the ones I see the fewest, and same with the bedroom wardrobe. Campkin stuff, I see this a lot. And then we get into the more recent ones. 2025, I think, is like one of the ugliest ones. I think this is the year that people got really upset because it looked like they used AI, which this totally does look AI, but I think this is just super ugly, and especially this one, like it just doesn't come together, unfortunately. Pumpkin pie is going to be the Thanksgiving one, so again, some of these are rarer than others. You'll see, like, yeah, it looks like the telephone is maybe the only one that has not been available again. It's a really cool item, but these are kind of retro items. 2024 I think is awesomely designed, but is still pretty around. People just have it. 2025, really recent. You're going to see these everywhere. This is the Raziel Mega Collection, which is interesting. Yeah, okay, 2013. Maybe this was for the launch of Adventure Park, but this is in the Wish Factory, and this stuff is kind of, although the Fairy Dragon wings are cool, I don't see them a lot more people wearing them. Then we have Valentine's Day collections. I think most of this, other than the Candy Heart window, and I guess the flooring, has not been seen recently. I will say, like, what I'm learning is if it hasn't been seen recently, it's probably going to come back, because, like, that's what it seems to look like. Then we have these Valentine's Day chocolates, which a lot of these are in the Wish Factory or Spree. I don't think this has been available for a while, but probably coming back. Going through 2018, I see these ones a lot. I see 2019, like this half a lot. 2020 I haven't seen other than the earlier ones. I don't see these a ton. 2021 I see these a lot. Wonder what this is referring to. Okay, that's super weird. The like clothing displays are pretty popular for some reason, so I think these go really well in the trade room, although I think some of them have been available recently, at least the boutique wallpaper. I don't see the boutique fitting room ever. Then we have Neo-Gothic, which is off the rare theme. The Neo-Gothic organ was available on, I think that was Webkinz Next, so that was really like available for a while, and thus has kind of lost its value as a grand prize, but these in general, I don't see a lot anymore. I used to see the Neo-Gothic bench a ton, and people like it because of the Neo-Gothic like theme attachment. We have a continuation of kind of the kitchen Valentine's Day stuff, which I used to see a lot, but I think we've kind of moved to the point where this is not super present. 2025, we have this like theme. I still see a few amount of those. I hate 2026. I think this is the worst designed one. I actually like didn't even complete it because I thought it was bad. Anyways, we walked through. These are really hard to value because they are items that I would say are probably going to come back. I would say anything on this page is up for grabs to come back. I mean, there's very few items on Webkinz anymore that I think wouldn't come back, other than maybe like PSIs. And when I say come back, I mean like available for free in the game. All of these just pop up in ways you wouldn't expect, like a antique shop event, a floating W, super wheel on holidays, holiday wheels, just anywhere really. So that's something I want people to keep in mind and just kind of know, like when you're trading for these, that these are maybe even more likely than previous like retired themes are to show up. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of the vibe I've gotten. So generally, I would just like be aware of where prizes are available. If they are available in Spree, they're really not valuable. In my opinion, anyone can buy anything on Spree. It's very easy to go through the game and get enough credits. If they're available in the Wish Factory, they're a little harder to get, definitely take a lot longer, but I mean, especially if they're like lower value, you will start to see them a fair amount. But I would guess I would probably rank the Wish Factory above the Spree, just based on how hard it is to get. And then if it is a wheel prize, like it kind of loses all value. Tons of these have become wheel prizes, and again, it depends on what wheel, like Wheel of Wishes kind of trade for Wheel of Wishes, which are other great items, but yeah, that can really like vary and bring down the price. Another thing is a lot of these have become recipe items, and if they are current recipe items, then I would say like those are not worth anything. Just most recipe items can be made very easily. That's a huge video in itself of all the items that can be recipe items, but yeah, this isn't super helpful, I guess, but I think it's good to like go through and just kind of think about the different things to be looking out for of like, is this currently in the Spree shop? Is this currently in the Wish Factory? Is this currently like been in an event recently? And that's why it's helpful to be like on and see what events are happening, but I don't think that's like normal. So my biggest piece of advice is to just pull up Webkinz guide and see what they have here. That's the best way to do it. As always, other things come into consideration of like, are these like pretty items? Can they really be used in a lot of ways? Like, for example, a lot less people want like this hot dog stuff versus maybe I'm trying to think like like the boutique, like that theming is just a lot better, and anything recent is going to be like not in demand because everyone has it. I also think the recently designed items are so ugly. I don't know why they look like this. This is like where I'm like, this looks like AI. This just looks horrible. I can't even like figure out what that's supposed to be, but yeah, that's just kind of walking through it. I think that's the best way to do it. And of course, always with trading, the most valuable item is the one that you want. And if that's what you want and someone has it and they're not going to trade for it, like, you might need to trade more. But hopefully this just gives you an idea of like things to keep in mind when trading for collection event items. So yeah, that's all for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.